Efendim benim. Welcome in. It's Sunday night, the Mission 22 IndyCar Series playoff time here from Chicagoland Speedway. It's me, Joey. I have no idea how the hell I got here, but I'm here tonight. We're excited. We had some issues with ASN, but we're excited. We were able to get things up and running. We'll see how we make it the rest of the evening here on the Sim500 network. And it is just me, so it could get boring, but just hang in there with us. The action will be great on the racetrack, so hopefully we can talk more about that, not me just talking circles. Right now, cars are on the track doing some qualifying. We'll kind of get an overview real fast of who's doing what right now as we're getting closer to lining up here on the grid. And qualifying has just ended. We'll get a quick run through on the grid here real fast as the cars will come out and take their spots. We'll run through our points real quick, our top 8 drivers. Of course, I'm supposed to be out there in the playoffs, but we wound up forfeiting our spot. We didn't have the funding to make the rest of the season, unfortunately. But coming in tonight, clicking on our standings on the sim500.com website there for the Mission 22 IndyCar Series. Wes Hogue will come in tonight over Bobby Wetzel, Aaron Smith. I think let's retract. We're Here we go. Got the right spot now. Go back and look at our standings now. This is the first race, as we talked about. Drivers will have a 3-point advantage per win. Right now, you'll have Kevin Brown and Andrew Alexander Desant up there with 206 apiece, or 2,006 points. They had 2 wins apiece. Greg Forsythe there has got a win as well. He starts with 201. Matt Wagner with 201. Then Jim Brooks, Chad Cole, and AJ Musselman there with 2,000. Don Ruckel will be your 8th and final car. So those will be the ones we'll watch tonight. Kind of a short field, but with these Indy cars, that's good. We should have a fast and productive race. Less green flags, hopefully. All right, here we go. We're getting ready to take off here. See if we can pull in some of our drivers as we look to kill a little time here prior to the race starting. Kevin Brown is coming in here. We'll see if we can get a word with Kevin. Hey, Kevin Brown, Joey Jatina up here in the Sim500 network. You're coming in tonight's race. You got a little bit of a lead here. 2 wins on the night, or on the season. Race 1 of the playoffs. How's the car?
So far, it's pushing a lot in the draft when we were practicing on the practice. Hopefully, we can maybe bump up the weight jacker a little bit and get a little loose, and hopefully be able to keep everything in one intact.
Excellent, Kevin. Well, we just wanted to pull you up here. We know you're rolling off the grid. Anybody you want to thank here that's made your season happen? And we'll let you get back to your business here.
Yeah, you know the guys at Stillhorse, Chris for making the paint schemes, Sim500, Mission 22, and yeah, appreciate it.
Good luck to you tonight, Kevin. All right, there's Kevin Brown. Kevin's coming in tonight again. He is one of the favorites to take the title. We'll see how it turns out for him. We'll run through the grid real fast. All right, Alexander Vincent there leading on the pole. Kevin Brown, again, we talked to there, starting second. Jose Gonzalez third, making a rare appearance with Matt Wagner, who's again, he's one of our top championship contenders there in the 4th spot. Row 3, Justin Fuller and Chad Cole. Row 5, Byron Daly and Michael Spell. Row 10, Greg Forsythe, another championship contender with, again, AJ Musselman beside him. Bill Batiste, Anthony Calantoni, as we're getting ready to go racing here. Ed Williams Jr., Green. Jim Brooks, Cristiano Alexio, and James Knott. We're off to racing here. Off into turn 1. So far, so good. Everybody's looking great on the racetrack. Everybody's single file for the most part. And here we go to the outside here. This is going to be a heavy draft track, and this is what makes it a lot of fun for these guys in this car. Everybody's pretty much on the same playing field. It's kind of got an IROC feel to this kind of racing. As you see these guys now looking possibly 3 wide out of turn 2. Kevin Brown charging on the outside here. These are the 2 guys. Van de Sande right now and Kevin Brown have been the dominant 2 drivers this year, both with 2 wins apiece in this short season. They're both out front. They're both obviously showing early on that they're going to be the cars to beat here for this championship. It's 3 races is all we have this year to determine our Mission 22 IndyCar Series champion. We start here at Chicagoland. Next week we go to Las Vegas, and we finish this up at Homestead Miami Speedway. It's been a heck of a fun season. I have to thank Don Runkle Jr. and Mission 22. It's a great cause there. If you're not familiar with Mission 22, get out there, check it out, mission22.com. It's a great, great cause for veterans out there. I've actually had the luxury of working with that group, and they are a platinum member when it comes to a nonprofit group. Everything I would say, I think it's 80%. I could be wrong on the number, but majority of what they raise goes to the veterans, and that's what I love the most about that. Anyways, back to the action here again. Still first and second. Van de Sande leads this thing. Kevin Brown still looking for his way around the outside. Byron Daly up there loving the outside. He's not making much ground, but he's not losing ground either. Justin Fuller now to the inside of him. I guess it will pay off for Justin as he keeps it on the bottom of the racetrack. Out of turn 4. Kevin Brown to the top of the track. Still nothing there for Kevin. Van de Sande still just holding that low line. It's showing right now that's where you've got to be right now, or you want to be, because nobody's had a chance to do anything with that race car. Kevin Brown really tight, but still nothing there. We'll go back, look at Justin Fuller and Byron Daly. They're kind of battling for a spot. Falling back just a hair. Feels pretty much, as we talked about, just stringing out a little bit. Flashing past the Chicago Land Speedway. Oh, we have a caution. Caution on the Speedway. Give us just a second. We're probably going to struggle with the cautions tonight, as we are with everything else, it seems like. We'll roll back through here. Looks like maybe, not really sure what happened there. Looks like maybe Jamie Knott was involved in that. We'll go back and take a look here. This is our only way of doing replays tonight, so we apologize for the rewinding. We'll see if that had anything to do with Jamie. Matter of fact, it does not look like it was him, so we'll just kind of check back through here shortly and see if we could find that replay. Lap 9 of 100. Unfortunate caution here early. No limit on tires, so we'll see these guys probably come down and get some fresh tires. This could be a spot where Kevin Brown will decide to stay out. This will be an important decision. It could change the way the race plays out, but now it looks like everybody is going to come down pit road. Side-by-side battle on the pit road with Kevin Brown. We'll ride with Kevin into his pits here. Something you don't see very often is under caution, 2 guys racing down pit road, but that is how. Oh, there it is right there. See, those are the things that can hurt you when you're not patient getting on a pit road. Just simply under caution, you can miss your pit stop and your pit box, and can cost you quite a bit of spots, as Kevin Brown has just seen there. It looks like Kevin may come out in the 4th spot possibly here, as he came in 2nd. All right, we're going to take a quick break, catch our breath, and all those wonderful things. Be right back on the other side for some more green flag racing.
being chased, and it goes right in Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Aloma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. But all these win here on this outside line. Neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron, drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
All right, back in Chicagoland, Mission 22 IndyCar Series. We're back. We're getting back, ready to go back green flag racing. Here in this series, the cool part, they elected to do single file restarts, so that is something that's really helped get this race back off into a great start without a lot of worries about cautions coming right back out after the guys get the green flag. But here we go. Van Asant now jumps out to the lead. And see, it spaces the cars out. It's great. This has been the best decision they've made, I believe, all year in this series, adopting that rule. Off in the corner, you see the front 5 have kind of broken away now. We got to watch Kevin Brown as he's going to have to make his charge back up as he's getting off pit road. Justin Fuller now, he's going to take the outside here. Forsyth right there. He's been a guy. He's won a race this year. He knows how to get it done. As they come off of turn 4, he's going to look to the inside, take that spot away, hopefully from Justin Fuller off in the corner. Fuller not battling for the championship. He has been here a couple of times, extremely fast everywhere he goes, but I know these guys want to get Justin out of the way, and they do here. Down the back straightaway, here they come down, charging. Van Asant still leading this race. Not had a challenge yet for that lead. Nobody can really do anything. It's the top of the racetrack. Guys have challenged the top of the racetrack, just had no luck doing anything with them up to the top of the track.
Caution's out.
Caution back out of the
Your
speedway.
mic sounds like you're a little far away from your mouth again. Just double check that for us, please.
Run back through the field here and see where that accident was, or at least who was involved in that accident. All right, there looks like Milt Matisse. We'll take a quick look back and see what happened to Milt here. Oh, this is not looking good for Milt. All out by himself here. Hard into the wall for Milt Matisse, and that will absolutely end the day for that race team. Again, Chicagoland Speedway here, playoff time for the Sim500 Mission 22 IndyCar Series. Alexander Desant has led just about every, Van Asant has led just about every single lap here so far. Another round of pit stops are coming up. This would be a chance. I guess tires Here we go. Yeah, a little strategy. Van Assant's going to come back out. Forsyth stays out, but it will be Byron Daly. He will be the first car to come down pit road. Let's see what Kevin Brown elects to stay out. Well, we have a second here. Let's see if we can bring Alexander up to the booth and get a quick word with him. And since he is not going to pit, this is going to be a great opportunity to get him up here and talk a little bit. Alexander, Joey Jettine up here at the Sim500 Network. Hey, brother, you got a great race going on. So far, nobody can touch you out there. It's been a great season for you. You've won some races. Tell us how things are going out there for you tonight.
Yeah, feeling good so far. Just holding the low line and seeing what happens.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody can really do much with you out there. Your car seems to be just stuck to the bottom, and that being said, I don't know. Like you said, holding the bottom line, can anybody challenge you to the top of the racetrack?
Maybe. We need to see, what happens on a long run, too. This track, it has really high tire degradation, so once we really wear the tires down, it's going to change up everything. So let's hopefully we get there sooner than later. But yeah.
Yeah, we've just seen the last couple incidents have kind of been self-spinners, nothing major. But yeah, it's slowing down the efforts tonight. We figured this would be a long green flag run. Alexander, we want to get you back to it. I know you're coming back around to take the green flag. We want to wish you luck. And if you've got anybody you want to thank while you're up here, go right ahead. I'm sure we'll talk to you here shortly.
Yeah, shout out to Happy Trails Chili Company running their livery tonight, and lmcgear.com is on the livery as well. Shout out to them.
All right, brother. Well, we'll try to get you back to the right place. If we don't, we apologize. As we're working on that right now. Good luck here. All right, there he is. That's Alexander Van Assant. Probably saying that name wrong. That's part of the deal, how we work here. But anyways, leading the race, led every lap to this point. He has been the dominant race car, the dominant driver. 17 laps led right now tonight. And here we go to the top of the racetrack. This is what I like about this series. The guys go to the top of the track and they'll get that nice run down the front straightaway. Off into turn one, and this is exactly what he needs, obviously, is to get a good start and breakaway here as far as Alexander is concerned. Green flag out, we're back to racing. Big breakaway right now for Alexander Assant as he off into turn one. Forsyth there in second. Kevin Brown now in third. So we've got 1, 2, 3 right now. Championship drivers hoping this race will get going. The long green flag run, as we just heard a while ago, the tires are extremely important here. So this is the part where we'd love to see a long green flag run and just see what you have, who's got the best stuff. Kevin Brown on the racetrack, top of the racetrack on Forsyth. He's looking, he's got the advantage there on the top of the track. This might be the first time we've seen a car actually make a pass on the top of the track. Kevin Brown, one of those exciting drivers out there, to say the least. He's going to get a little help to the outside of the racetrack. Looks like Byron Daly right there going to fill his back door up. Off of turn 4 now. Kevin Brown, can he clear? Off into one. It does not look like Kevin Brown's going to make that move. Side by side now for the second spot. Again, Brown pulls the advantage off the corner. He just cannot hold it. Well, there's a great move. Can he jump to the bottom of the track? Kevin Brown going to stay to the top. He likes it up there. The car's working, but he does come down. He does take the second spot away, and he does take it from Craig Forsyth there. Brown back to the top of the racetrack. Off into turn 1 now. Again, he's the only guy that's been able to make the pass work on the top of the racetrack. He takes a look to the top of the track. He's going to pull back down in Alexander's draft and shoot right back out. And they can run off the back straight away into turn number 3. Great action right here early on in this event. Looks like the front 10 cars right there all together. Brown gets that great draft down the back straight. He shoots out to the top of the racetrack into 3. That's not helping him at all. And I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to just get that extra toe from the Foresight or the descent machine to help him catapult him around the outside. It's just not there right now at this time. But they are breaking away, guys. These two guys up front, a staggering pace they're putting on right now. Kevin Brown still on the outside here, trying to challenge for the lead. Alexander Vedashan right there on the bottom, just like he mentioned a while ago in the interview. Just keeps it down there. He's going to keep everybody behind him right now is what his thoughts are, and so far so good. He moves up the racetrack a little bit, gave Kevin Brown a little thought before he comes right back across those. Now Kevin Brown going to make an aggressive move to the bottom of the racetrack. Exactly what he's been looking for all night. They're side by side on turn 2 for the lead. And Alexander Vedashan still holding strong. This is amazing. Even on the bottom of the racetrack, that car is a rocket ship, but he gets to the top of the racetrack, and Kevin Brown is yet to clear him. Let's see if he can do it off into turn 1 here. Yeah, Kevin Brown pulls the lead right there. Now the first lead change of the night. Kevin Brown out front, but still going to have a battle from Vedashan down the back straightaway. Five cars in front of the racetrack now, or 5 cars here in the front lead group. We got Kevin Brown leading, Alexander Vedashan second, Craig Forsyth third, Byron Daly in the 4th spot. Michael Spell now has brought his machine into the top 5. Justin Fuller just outside here in the 6th spot. He's got a big gap now between the 2 cars, or the group here. He's kind of separating the lead pack to the 2nd group. Jim Brooks now holding strong in the 7th spot. Jim Brooks, a playoff driver. Matt Wagner behind him. Matt Wagner also, he's somebody that knows victory lane very well. AJ Musselman behind them. And rounding out your top 10 is Chad Cole. Chad Cole, it's not like Chad Cole to be at the back of this racetrack. He's obviously saving these tires. He'll be there at the end of the race, as he always is. But Chad Cole is one of the faster drivers you'll see here in the Mission 22 IndyCar Series here at Sim500. Well, back out front, well, we've got some action here that's taking place. Vedashan has now taken the lead. We missed some great action up here, obviously. Kevin Brown has fallen back. A little contact was made between the 2 drivers. Kevin Brown's fallen back. Vedashan now pulls away to a big lead over Michael Spell, who was, last we talked about, 5th. Now he's up to the 3rd spot and now challenging for 2nd. Byron Daly will fall back to 3rd. Justin Fuller. Kevin Brown has probably got some damage in this race car. Let's see if we can get a look on this car and see if there's anything going on there, but he continues to drop further and further back. Kevin Brown is struggling to hold in the top 10 right now. He's 6th. But here we go. We talked about Chad Cole. He's driving right there to the inside. He's going to take the 9th spot away from A.J. Musselman. Chad Cole making his way to the front of the racetrack with probably the fresher tires than anybody. Not seeing any damage on the Kevin Brown machine. That's we definitely need to go back and try to look at that when we get a chance. But obvious contact between Vedashan and Kevin Brown. Vedashan leads now, has a nice half a second lead over Michael Spell. Michael Spell doing all he can to kind of run back down Vedashan. This kind of distance between cars right now, this is exactly what you want to see if you're Vedashan. A long green flag run, as he mentioned. He knows how to save those tires and has a chance to book in this thing, as he's now looking at 31 laps led on the night. The only other driver we mentioned was Kevin Brown, who was able to make that pass and lead a few laps. go back to check in on Kevin Brown. Now he's still holding in 6th with. You got Jim Brooks now making his way up. Jim just jumped to the playoffs here tonight. There was a mishap of one of the playoff drivers, and Jim has filled that spot. He's going to go out there and do the best he can and make the most of it as he's looking for a top 5 right now. Tires obviously becoming an issue since the last time we fitted. They've got about 15 or so laps on the cars. This is when you really know what you have underneath. Jump back out front. Van de Sant still pulling away from this field. We're getting near the halfway point in the Mission 22 IndyCar Series here at Sim500. This has been a great series. It was a donation that brought the broadcast here and brought the series to Sim500. The IndyCar is not something that we particularly run a lot here at Sim500, but it has become a favorite. It is definitely a series that you can have some fun. Going back to the road course at Watkins Glen, Indianapolis, we had a $25 to win race there. Just some great action all the way around. That was last week. Matt Wagner picked that win up. The $25 to win Mission 22 Challenge. Next week, again, we mentioned Las Vegas. Similar style racetrack is going to host the second round of the playoffs. And what's going to happen at that point is the top 4 drivers coming out of Las Vegas will go to Homestead for a chance to win the championship. And there will be a cash prize or trophy. We have something going toward our champion. And we get ready to bring back the FEG Xfinity Car Series this Sunday night here at Sim500. If you're not familiar with Sim500, 7 nights a week racing. Anywhere from the Cup cars, Xfinity trucks. ARCA just started with the Wednesday night Nemesis Lab K&N Series, or ARCA Series, I should say. So if you want to race it, we have it here at Sim500. Check us out. That's definitely one of the most competitive leagues you can find out there in the sim. Back to action. Alexander Van de Sant still just pulling away, dominating 37 laps, coming to his 38th lap led tonight. Just walking away from the field, almost a second lead over Michael Spell. Go back and look at Michael Spell here. He's got a little challenge from Byron Daly. Go back and look to 4th. Now Matt Wagner drove up to the 4th spot. Hanging out right there with just ahead of Justin Fuller, who's in your 5th spot. Kevin Brown, one we talked about earlier, Kevin Brown outside pole sitter, he's dropped back to 8th. So definite issues on that 93 car. We don't see any visible damage here to that 93 car, but definitely something knocked that car out of contention and knocked him back up the racetrack there.
Caution.
Caution on the racetrack.
Need
That's
some
exactly
fuel
what
whenever you
Kevin
can,
Brown
but
needed
doing
to
a really
see.
good job. Tell me about your race car when you can.
Caution out on lap 43. Well, that caution coming out, we're going to take a quick breather. We'll watch this same iRacing commercial we had a while ago. Seems to be a good one. We'll watch that, come back, and we'll set the field.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Brayden Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Paloma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. Audie's whip here on this outside line. Neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron. Drag race to the line. It's so close to call.
Welcome back, Chicagoland, round 1 of the Mission 22 IndyCar Series here at Sim500. We had a caution just come out briefly. Another solo car spin by Jose Gonzalez. Slowed the field up here. We're going to get back to action here shortly. Pace car's out. Vanderson still leading, but look, Matt Wagner now through the pit stops is up to second. Justin for a third. Jim Brooks now fourth, making the most of his playoff appearance here in round 1. Again, top 4 drivers will go into the playoffs, Final 4 race in Homestead Miami Speedway. Next week, again, the series will head into Las Vegas, and that will determine our top 4 drivers. And then we'll go shoot it out, and we'll close out the winter series here for the Mission 22 IndyCar season. It's been a great season. Again, something new for Sim500, but it's been ultra competitive all year long. Looking forward to IndyCars more in the future. Right now, cars out of the race. Jose Gonzalez, again, last victim here of the incident. Milton Matisse, 15th. Anthony Calantoni is out, and Ed Williams Jr. So we still have about 13 race cars on the track right now. Chad Cole's moved up to the 5th spot. Lights are out on the pace car again. We talked about that. We go single file racing, or single file restarts here in the Mission 22 IndyCar Series. It's been one of the greatest rules I think they put out there for this series. It really gets the field back spread out and gets us a good long run. If we can get Jose to quit wrecking, we'll be great. Pace car gonna duck in, and it'll be back in the hands of Anderson as he's going to take off
Green.
and get a big lead on Matt Wagner here as he comes to the start-finish line. Off through the gearboxes. You can hear them run through the gearboxes. These cars are getting up to speed upwards to 200 mile an hour down the back straightaway. Here they come, Matt Wagner. He's going to be the next guy to give a challenge to Anderson and see if he can put his car out front and take an early championship lead. Out of turn 4, Wagner to the top of the racetrack. He's going to give it all he's got to the outside. Looks like everybody's on the bottom right now. Until now, it looks like Justin Ford is going to jump up and give a little help. Riding the car of Anderson down the back straightaway. Matt Wagner to the top of the racetrack now. He's going to get all that traffic gain down the front straightaway. That number 99 machine knows his way to victory lane. Off into turn 1, Anderson still just showing the way at the bottom. Nobody's been able to touch him up top. Kevin Brown's the only driver who was able to cross him up and get to the inside. Since that point, nobody's touched Anderson. Justin Fuller now the back of Matt Wagner. He's going to try to see if he can help the traffic. Now he changes his mind. We're looking at 3 wide off in the corner. Crossover coming for Justin Fuller. Definitely have to be careful as these guys are racing for a championship, and that Rowdy Energy number 51 is just kind of a part-time driver in the series. He falls back, but it looks like he got a little loose off in the corner now. Justin Fuller dropping back. Somebody we didn't get a chance to talk to in that break is Kevin Brown. He's still struggling. Back in 10th spot right now, and a big gap he's got to the 00 of Don Runkle. Don Runkle, somebody we hadn't talked about, but he's our awesome Sim500 Mission 22 IndyCar Series admin. This series is here because of Don, and he's been quiet here tonight, but it's time to get going. We just passed the halfway point, and that 00 is starting to roll to the front. Challenging now for the 8th spot, and Don Runkle's going to clear Musselman, and now he's going to set his sights on Chad Cole. Big battle here at the racetrack. Vanderson doing all he can just to keep that car on the low line. Fuller now going to dive the inside. Vanderson now down hole. Kill a line against the grass to make sure nobody can get that advantage. Hard racing right now to the lead as Justin Fuller, the Rowdy Energy machine, makes the move on Wagner. He shoots the outside. Now Wagner is going to cross him over. Push Fuller up a little bit. Oh, contact made right there as they enter turn 3. Justin Fuller going to move off the racetrack. Matt Wagner taking none of that from that rowdy car. Wagner moves the 51 up the track, and Wagner going back after the championship, or the race leader, I should say. Byron Daly looked inside of Justin Fuller, nothing there. He fell back. Back to the front of the field, Wagner. Still, again, nobody can touch that 13 of Anderson. Still just hold the bottom of the racetrack, 54 down. Vanasant now 50 laps led. Only 4 laps tonight has been led by somebody other than that number 13 machine. Back to the top of the racetrack. Gonna look 3 wide there on Matt Wagner. Nothing there. As of yet, Fuller doing all he can to get up here and challenge for the lead. Jim Brooks now. We're gonna look at Jim Brooks, who's holding down the 5th spot. He's just kind of riding, watching, waiting to see what happens here with the guys up front as they are battling extremely hard. 57 laps down. Big battle up front. Cars all over them. This is some hard racing up front. Justin Fuller now is in 2nd spot. This is the guy in the Rowdy Energy 51. He can do it. He can go up there and just like Kevin Brandt, probably one of the most energetic, aggressive drivers you have here at Sim500. If you're around Justin, you're either going to have a heck of a race or you're going to wind up on the hook. Sorry, Justin. Just had to say it like it is. Justin to the top of the racetrack. Fuller blocks the run of Byron Daly. He's going to shoot back down the inside, try to get the drafting help of Vandesant. Crossing the line now, that completes lap 58. This thing's getting closer and closer to winning. Every spot's going to count. Here's the checkered flag. Gets ready to drop. Fuller to the outside, just like everybody, just like Brown, just like Wagner. He's going to go to the outside and try to challenge Vandesant here. Got some good battles here. Looking back at Matt Wagner and Michael Spell battling Jim Brooks right there, following those guys. This is a battle for the 4th spot. Matt Wagner is falling back now as he was just battling for the lead with Vandesant. Now he's falling himself, battling again with Spell to keep himself in the top 5. Chad Cole just right behind him, waiting to pounce. He's definitely a playoff contender, somebody we know that's going to be there in the Final 4 if Chad does what Chad does. Chad Cole coming this season has led, hasn't led as many laps as you see Chad Cole lead, but his finish has kind of been a little sporadic this year, but he is due. He's absolutely due as he is one of the faster drivers here again in the Mission 22 IndyCar Series. Back up front though, let's check in on Matt Wagner. Well, excuse me, Vandesant. Byron Daly in charge on the outside over Justin Fuller. We got a new 2nd place driver. Byron Daly's got a heck of a run. He pulls the draft. Vandesant, he's going to shoot to the outside. It's like when you go up a little bit too high. I mean, it's just these guys have got to stay so close, and that's something that you really got to be careful with these cars, is staying so close to the side draft to try to be as close as you can to make that corner down, not lose as much on the time clock. So they're having to give up a lot. Byron Daly now though is pulled away or pulled ahead off into turn 3. Vandesant now takes the lead back away. He's going to move up the track. Byron Daly still challenging strong. If he can come down to about the 2nd lane, that's probably all Byron Daly will need. Oh, and a big crossover. Byron Daly, what a move on Vandesant. Caught him sleeping. Byron Daly, what a setup move that was. A crossover on Vandesant. Send Byron Daly to lead this race. Wow, what a move. That was a last-second move. He, again, left him out there and made the move on Von Hassan when he just wasn't looking. There was nothing he could do to protect that line. It's kind of similar to what Kevin Brown had to do to get the lead. That's the only way to lead here at this racetrack, is to be at the bottom of the track. And now Von Hassan gives that up. Byron Daly still struggling to pull away from him. Von Hassan now outside of the radio. He's going to pull back out in front from the outside. Can he clear? He does. He does. What a move from Von Hassan. Byron Daly did everything he had to do to take the lead of the race, and it was just not good enough to hold off Von Hassan. Byron Daly back to the inside. We got some racing here in the front. Von Hassan goes up the track a little bit. I think he likes the top of the racetrack. That car is, you haven't seen him had to run up there much tonight, but I think he found a little something up there. Byron Daly pulls about 2 car lengths, well, about 1 car length on Von Hassan. Down the back straightaway they come, single file. Now here he comes, Von Hassan back to the inside. These 2 guys, they're racing. There's no low lining here with these 2 up front. Von Hassan will lead. Byron Daly will slice down and take the lead. Back and forth they go. Does that change now? 67 laps down. We're getting inside of 30 to go here in Chicagoland, round 1 of the Mission 22 IndyCar Series. Again next week, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That'll determine the final 4 going into Homestead here. And then we'll know who our championship 4 will be and who's going to win this championship. Von Hassan obviously looking strong. Win and you're in, more likely. Von Hassan looking to go ahead and cash his ticket to the final 4. Down the back straightaway, side by side. Back here, look at Justin Moore. He's fell back just a little bit. It's like he gave up a little too much in that Rowdy Energy car. Those tires now not working as good. Matt Wagner racing him back down as Matt Wagner again chasing the points. Jim Brooks right there to 5th. Chad Cole 6th, and our man Don Runkle. Don Runkle's charged up to the top 7 here. Jamie Knott should have had his butt up here in the booth with me, but he's out on the racetrack having a great night, 8th. Kevin Brown struggling still. AJ Musselman has now made the pass. Kevin Brown is back to 10th. We'll have to talk with him a little later. Craig Forsythe, someone we haven't spoken with earlier. Craig was obviously in some issues earlier with an incident. Struggling himself, as we've seen him up front a lot tonight. But here in the closing laps, that number 131 is struggling to keep up with the field. Back up front now, Von Hassan still showing the way. Byron Daly to the outside. He's going to take the lead back on the outside. It gets a great draft. He didn't need the bottom. Byron Daly back to the lead of the race. Byron Daly here hammering it down, 73 laps of 100 complete. Von Hassan back to the inside. Byron Daly just gives it right back to him. I don't think now the blow line doesn't seem like it's where you have to be to lead these laps. These 2 drivers up front are making it happen on the top and the bottom, producing some of the best racing we've seen all night. Byron Daly charges again. We'll watch Byron. Let's see how he makes it happen here as he off the corner now, right in the back draft of Von Hassan. He's going to make the move to the inside. Byron Daly back to lead in turn 3. These guys have put about about 2 seconds on Matt Wagner, and they're racing as hard as they possibly can and still pulling away from the field. Von Hassan back to the lead here. Turn 3 is the sweet spot. That's where these guys will swap the lead back over in turn 3 to the start-finish line. Von Hassan's going to pick up another lap. Byron Daly's led 5 laps on the night. Kevin Brown, I think, has picked up 4 laps. And the rest of the night has been Alexander Von Hassan. To the top of the track, Von Hassan goes. Again, another pass in turn 3 here from Byron Daly. Well, is that the case? Von Hassan strong off the corner. Byron Daly maybe looked a little loose. Is that something that we talked about with Alexander earlier? Bondasant was the tires. Could we be seeing right now that the bottom is giving up a little bit as these tires get a little warm? Bondasant pulls a big lead right now as he pulls up to the back of Forsyth. In the wall, that was Michael Spell who got the wall coming out of turn 2. Michael Spell was up there in the top 5 as we talked earlier, just off pit road, out of pit road and in the wall. Definitely not what you want to see. Looks like these cars are possibly going to have to make a last-minute pit stop here. As Jim Brooks also was there in the front. Jim Brooks now getting around Michael Spell. Mr. Brooks was a top 5 car before his pit stop. Justin Fuller fresh out of the pits, fresh tires in that 51 car. He's going to shoot to the inside of Alexander Vandeshot, put himself a lap back on the lead lap. But man, put Justin 1 lap down. Actually, he's 2 down right now at this time. Don Runkle makes his pit stop. He's back on the racetrack. 20 laps to go. Now we'll have to watch and see when Alexander Vandeshot is going to make his stop. Justin Fuller still trying to go up there and lap himself, at least get one of his laps back. Jim Brooks now is 3 back, 3 down right now. What these guys do not need is a caution. Matt Wagner's made his pit stop. He's back on the racetrack. Kevin Brown is up in the 6th spot. He's yet to pit. Craig Forsyth, somebody we talked about earlier, holding down the 5th spot. He, of course, not pitted. Anybody here in the front has not pitted. A.J. Musselman holding down for Chad Cole 3rd. Byron Daly, of course, and Alexander Vandeshot had still yet to pit. 20 laps to go here at Chicagoland Speedway. This is set to be a heck of a finish, especially with a late pit stop to mix the field up. Byron Daly now has dropped a half a second back right now. 19 laps to go. Nobody wants to see a caution except for the guys who are a lap down. Bondasant battling hard right now. You wonder why you battle Justin Fuller and for that spot to keep him a lap down. He has definitely given it all he's got. Keep Fuller in that Rowdy Energy car pinned 2 laps down. Don Roker going back to look as he's going to race with Matt Wagner. Both cars, again, have made their pit stops. They are 1 lap down. Fresh tires on those race cars. Fuller's going to finally clear Bondasant. Almost a little contact made. All that racing is going to pull Byron Daly back up to the back bumper. 17 laps to go. Chad Cole sitting in a 3rd spot. He's 5 seconds back. Right now, not much of a change. A.J. Musselman, 8.6 seconds back. He just makes the move around Craig Forsyth for the 4th spot. Challenge for the lead now. Byron Daly. Now that's Justin Fuller. Justin Fuller still battling right there to get back 1 lap down with Alexander Vandeshot. 15 to go, as we mentioned. A little move for Fuller to push Vandeshot back up the racetrack. At this point right now, if you're the crew chief of the 13, you're telling them, lay back, let those cars go. You don't need to race them right now like you are, especially Justin Fuller. That's the last guy you need to be racing hard when you got such a lead like you do. 14 laps to go. Will we see that 13 car make a pit stop? Byron Daly holding right behind him, just kind of watching the battle, waiting to see what he does. Taking a back look on Chad Cole again, 6.7 seconds back. Chad Cole could be working the fuel mileage deal here to try to save some fuel as he's dropping back a little bit more. 13 laps to go now. Byron Daly is going to charge back underneath the lappers. He's to the bottom. It's time to race for him. Again, coming to the line with 12 laps to go. Chicagoland Speedway, round 1 of the Mission 22 IndyCar playoffs. Byron Daly just missed the playoffs. He did make only 5 starts. He picked up 2 wins. Out of the 5 starts, that would have been a car and a team that definitely would have challenged for a championship. Tonight he's challenging for his 3rd win of the season. Now here we go. Vonneson spins. Vonneson is spun, getting on pit road. Does this change the race? No caution. Vonneson spins. Wow. Getting on a pit road. This is the most difficult thing to do. Green flag, pit stops. Vonneson finds himself a picture-perfect race. Is now gone up in smoke. We're going to take a look at Byron Daly. He's going to be coming in a little sideways off the corner now. Byron Daly, can he get on pit road? Byron Daly, nicely done. Down to 55 mile an hour. AJ Musselman is going to come around. He's going to assume the lead. Vonneson now just now leaving pit road. See what kind of recovery he makes. That was a big mishap of that 13 car. He just goes a lap down now as AJ Musselman has got the lead of the race with 10 laps to go. Chad Cole has made his pit stop. The last car to pit right now is AJ Musselman. He is going to keep going at this point. Craig Forsythe has not pitted either. Kevin Brown has yet to pit. Everybody from 4th on back have made their pit stops. Nine laps to go. AJ Musselman, this is the last, well, 1 of 2 car, 3 cars yet, it was mentioned, that have not pitted. Coming around again, he is not going to stop this time. 8 laps to go in the event. It's the 2nd lap of the night to lead. This would be a big playoff win and a big upset right here if this car can make it to the checker flag without having to stop. Off at a turn 3. Let's see if we have a stop here. No sign that 75 car is going to pit. These cars, if you're not familiar with Indy cars, they have different fuel settings. This could have been a great strategy call from the AJ Musselman team if they dialed this race car back for a long run, and that's very well what they could have done. 7 laps to go down the back straightaway for that 75 machine. And it looks like he is coming in this time. Off the track and down the pit road very safely. The 75 of Musselman now is on pit road. Kevin Brown's the next car. Kevin Brown, somebody we talked about earlier, who started outside pole. He's won a couple races this year. Trouble early in the event. Kevin Brown now takes back over control of the race. Six laps to go. Forsythe has made his pit stop. As you see, he comes right back up in front of Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown is really slow. They're going to try to make it. Coming to 5 laps to go for Kevin Brown. We're going to check back at the difference. Well, it's not much of a difference now as Byron Daly flies by Kevin Brown. That should put Byron back in the lead lap. Alexander Vonneson now is going to take him back. We talked about him dominating this race. He led a ton of laps here, racing hard with Matt Wagner. We've got some smoke right there in front of him. Just a car coming down a pit road. Looks like Kevin Brown has made his pit stop there. So the day is over. No chance for Kevin Brown to win this race. It's going to come back to Byron Daly. Byron Daly's going to have the lead with just 3 laps to go. Vonneson now is going to take his spot back to number 2. Chad Cole 3rd, Matt Wagner 4th, and Don Runkle is in the top 5. AJ Musselman's out in 6th. Kevin Brown just now back on the racetrack. Right now he's going to hold, hopefully hold inside the top 10 is what Kevin's hoping to do. 2 laps to go now. Byron Daly down the back straight coming to the white flag. And what has been a pretty exciting race. Byron put on a heck of a show, kind of waited his time. Gave Von der Saan all he wanted. They traded back and forth punches. But it was a pit stop error by Von der Saan. That's going to give Byron Daly the win here tonight. It's 1 to go. Off turn 2 down the back straightaway. About a 6.5-6 second lead now for Byron Daly as he's going to come off at turn 4. And he's going to pick up his 3rd victory out of 6 races this year. Byron Daly to victory lane. He's going to go Forsyth now, or Von der Saan second with a close battle with Chad Cole. That's going to be your top 3. Matt Wagner now, we go back to look. Wagner's 4th. Don Ruckel with a great finish. Finishes out in the 5th spot. A.J. Musselman's wound up 6th. Justin Forrest 7th. Jamie Knott 8th. Greg Forsyth 9th. Cristiano Alexio in 10th. And Kevin Brown, unfortunately, started out strong. Going to finish the night in the 10th spot. All right, we're going to catch a short break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk to some of our guys. We're going to talk to Byron Daly here again, picking up yet another win. A great race for him tonight. There he is, burning them down. We'll be back to talk with Byron Daly very shortly.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it goes for Brandon Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side by side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Paloma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. And side by side through the corner, this is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett Low. 4 wide at the stripe. Maloney's win here on this outside line. Neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron. Drag race to the line. It's so close to goal.
Well, we're back here at California, Chicagoland. We're back here in Chicagoland with the Mission 22 IndyCar Series. We got Chad Cole up here. Chad Cole, you fall back here to the top 3. A playoff contender. Chad Cole, tell us about it here.
Yeah, it's been kind of an up and down race for us today. Got a good qualifying effort in. Just kind of wanted to bide my time in the race because, as you very well know, I have a habit of stepping on my thing in the early going of the race and making mistakes and taking other people with me. So we're trying not to do that tonight. Try to get the whole 100 laps in, and it's really interesting setup with the aero push. You had to kind of run different lines and then play with the throttle a little bit, so you would try to stay in some clean air. But I really thought that I was going to be able to save some fuel and maybe not have to pit there, but I ended up losing the draft and was by myself, and I just kind of had to bite the bullet there and come to pit lane and then grab some fuel to make it to the end there, which I don't know if I would have made it, or I think probably just should be happy with a top 3 there than snaking away a win.
Great night for you, Chad. Again, talking about next week, go to Las Vegas. That is the deciding race before we go into the Final 4. So you get a great start, Chad, with a 3rd place finish. Anybody want to thank? And we look forward to seeing you in Vegas next week.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Mission 22 for sponsoring this Sunday series. It's a lot of fun. We're kind of disappointed on the car turnout. But the racing itself has been really good. It's a good group of guys we have going here, so it's been a fun race, fun series.
That's Chad Cole. We're going to let him get back as he's finishing up his Gatorade, the 17 car, third place tonight. Up next, it's our Alexander Vanessant, the guy we talked about all night. You dominated the race, Alexander. Trouble off of 4, going to pit road. Tell us what happened, man.
Yeah, I choked. I was starting to slow down. Realized I wasn't slowing down enough, and then I just lost the rear as I got on the brakes more. Really hard to practice pit entry on super speedways like this, especially on old tires. So my mistake, happens a lot. Hopefully it happens less going forward.
Next week, Las Vegas, as we talk to Chad Cole. Any thoughts going into next week, as it is the deciding race before you go into the playoffs? You have a great lead. You recovered great with the spin out. You come back to finish second. Thoughts going into next week?
Yeah, Vegas is pretty fun in these cars, especially with the fixed setup that they have here. So it should be a pretty good pack race all the way through. If I'm remembering right, tire wear doesn't play as big a factor there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
There it is, Alexander Vanessant. Anybody want to thank before we get back down to victory lane?
Yeah, once again, shout out to lmcgear.com and Tappa Trails Chili Company. And then thanks to Craig and AJ for we're like kind of teammates for this. So it's been fun doing a season with them.
Great job, Alexander. We'll see you next week in Las Vegas. All right, we're down to victory lane. Byron Daly, talk to us, man. You played it smart, you played it smooth, you come out on the winning end. Vanessant has the spin off forward to pit road. We saw you actually a little sideways getting ready to make your pit stop. Talk to us about that pass or lead and bringing it home, Byron.
Yeah, towards the end there, the lap traffic was really making it hard for me to get back to Alexander there. We were having a pretty spirited battle for the lead there. I was trying to race him, but I didn't really want to race him too hard because I knew we had another pit stop and didn't want any disasters. But yeah, those lap cars made it a little tough. I actually didn't know he spun entering pit lane. For me, as soon as I was trying to get Jim to clear me so I can pit, so as soon as I backed off to try to, get him around me, it's like the thing tried to swap ends on me. It was pretty exciting, a little bit more driving than I wanted to do coming to pit road. But Alexander's spin obviously kind of sealed the win for me. So, yeah, a little lucky in that. But, I'd rather be lucky than good. I had a massive spin off of turn 2 that you don't really get away with too many times. So I guess it was supposed to be my race today. I don't know.
Well, Byron, I know a lot of guys are glad to see this 06 machine not make more than 5 starts. This is your 6th start, 3 wins out of 6 starts. So obviously this will be your championship right now, as strong as you've been. You've won the most races out of anybody. What's so fun about these Indy cars for you?
Oh, they're just, they're a challenge to race, like on the oval side and, the road course side. They're just fun to pound laps around. And I really do enjoy them. The driver tools really have made it a whole different ball game. You can kind of sit there, and if you're stuck in traffic and need to figure something out, you can sit there and use your tools and try to figure it out, but they can also bite you if you get it wrong. So it's a lot of fun. I find it to be a unique challenge, something different. So it's something I enjoy.
Awesome, Byron. Well, welcome back to Victory Lane. 3rd win again out of 6 races. Byron, anybody want to thank? And will we see it back next week in Las Vegas?
Yeah, just Sim500 putting this league on, Mission 22 for sponsoring, and yeah, just everybody who makes this happen. This is a fun car to race, and I'm just happy to be here.
Awesome. Byron Daly in Victory Lane. Again, your winner tonight in Chicagoland. Going to head back into Las Vegas again next week for round 2, the final round before we cut it off. And before we get out of here, we've got Don Runkle Jr. Don Runkle, 5th place finish tonight. Man, talk to us about it.
What?
5th place, buddy. Talk to us.
Yeah, I had a 5th place finish, and it was a good run tonight. And I have to look at the points, but I'm not really sure how well I did in the points tonight. But I'll have to go back and check. But yeah, I just got lucky. Just tried to stay out of trouble.
Well, Don, as a series admin and race steward, everything seems to be going pretty well. Thoughts going into next week into Las Vegas?
Well, I'd like to be able to get a win before the season ends. It'd be nice. I don't know. I think Vegas is a good shot, so maybe I can see if I can bring the 00 IndyCar into victory lane next week at Vegas.
That's Don Runkle. Guys, wanted to bring in the man himself, Don Runkle, before we got out of here tonight. It's been an excellent race. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, I won't be back next week, but somebody will be back next week to talk Indy cars and the awesome event we're going to have in Las Vegas again, round 2 of the Mission 22 IndyCar Series. Still spots available if you want to come out and race. Sim500.com. Again, 7 nights a week of racing. The Trans Service Cup Series in 2021 looking full series already, so no spots open in it, but we do have the FEG Xfinity cars coming here on Sunday nights. Spots are open for that series. A FEG custom computer being given away to the top 8 drivers, be a random draw. So if you're not in the Mission 20 or the FEG Xfinity series, get in it. We got spots, and we look forward to having another great race year coming up with, again, the FEG Xfinity cars. I'm out of here. It's been a great night. I had a lot of fun. I think I have. I don't know. But hopefully it hadn't been too bad for you guys out there just having to listen to me talk. The racing's been great. Got to thank all the guys, again, the admin staff here, Don Runkle Jr., everybody that helps Don. We look forward to it next week. Good night. Sim5 Network is out of here.
Coming up to the line, being chased, and it was Brandon Johnson. Unbelievable finish. It was 1/1000th of a second between them.
Green flag in the air. We are racing in the 2020 24 Hours of Daytona.
They go door to door for the feature race lead here on the last lap of the race. Side for the race lead in the final corner at Homestead.
Down the back straightaway, 3 wide again for the race lead. This is unbelievable stuff here tonight.
Aloma is going to have to be very deep on the brakes, and he is very deep on the brakes. It's side by side through the corner. This is for the win.
It'll be side by side. Davies low, Ottinger high. To the very inside is Garrett low. 4 wide at the stripe. For Audie's win here on this outside line, neck and neck. Who's going to back out? Does anyone back out? Verstappen starts to squeeze on the inside, and now he'll try and straight line it. Goes under the apron. Drag race to the line. It's so close to call.